wanted to hop on here and say sorry for the amount of times I said and right. It's almost ridiculous. I can't even film these without even saying that stupid shit, and I'm so sorry. I don't know what my problem is. Somebody in my Discord DM said that, and I'm really trying to take it to heart because it sounds really stupid and unprofessional. Like I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's just me talking so fast and right, it's almost just like me trying to spit out everything I can say and that I know, but it comes out so terribly sometimes, and I just wanted to put that on here. I just even did it right then. I don't even try to. And I don't, with like saying right, I guess like it, I don't know, confirms like you understand what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm really sorry for that, guys. I just wanted to put that in here before we got into the episode, but it's pretty decent episode. I like the information in this one, but right, there's a lot more. I just did it right then. It's a very informative episode, a lot to get into, and a lot to go over. Very, a lot more deeper stuff that we can always get into, but very good to reinforce the basics. I'll quit yapping and let y'all get to the episode. How are we doing tonight? Wanted to just kind of bring a simple step-by-step A to B to C, our A through Z, right, turtle soup video. Made one of these before, but I kind of wanted to make a shorter, I don't know, just more like well put together one. My stuff isn't like put together like nearly as well as I want it to, right? I could make these into slides, but right, everybody does that, so I kind of just want to put all the stuff in front of you, let you read, right, simply go over it, then get on the chart. I think that's not the best way to do it, right, because face to face or right on call is like pretty much the best way to do it. You have a question, you ask, like, but anyway, a lot of the people in the Discord probably won't really need this one. It's kind of just a remake of an old one, and just a kind of just a, I don't know, just going over the basics again, making sure all the basics are put in place, and reinforcing ideas and everything that needs to be right reinforced. Coming in, obviously, turtle soup is just a sweep of an old high or low, right? They typically occur at significant highs or lows, right, where they often look like obvious stop-loss orders are placed above or below the old high or low, right? We can also form an old candle bodies, especially, right, having a divergence, especially if it's super obvious for stop-loss placements. Usually, like equal highs, our data equal highs is just super obvious. I don't know why traders like double tops, but right, easy draw on liquidity. Understanding when and why we might create a double top, right, or delivering from an order block or something like that when we have a higher time frame SMT, makes a lot more sense. But sometimes we also, right, can have an inducement of liquidity and an SMT with the quick, right, sweep and close back within the range above the old high. Creating relative equal highs or equal highs, and right, we can have those moments as well, but it's understanding, right, what time it is and what day it is, right, as well as, right, our weekly profile. Liquidity sweeps is pretty much what we look for. Purges on liquidity. After price sweeps the old high or low on a higher time frame, it creates a turtle soup. We always look higher time frame first and then zone into the lower time frame. We use that for every model and right, every confluence that we have. We always try to use anticipated failure swings as target if we don't enter into the turtle soup itself. These failure swings become short-term liquidity, right? Our order block is used as the retracement to then right, continue away from it. Order blocks, rejection blocks, and SMTs are where we form our key turtle soups and our key levels. Or it's not where, but it's where we may be delivering from, and or right after we create the turtle soup, we look for a rejection block, order block, right? And always keep an eye out for an SMT. Right, we should always have short liquidity pulls above bullish order blocks. After that, right, you like to see a sweep and or right, creating the order block, right, with if you see it on the 1 minute, you'll also see a black candle, a green candle, and that green candle sweeps the black candle. Right, often look like a candle range theory. Trading, this should be pretty simple, right? Identify your key level, wait for the soup, right? Wait for a confirmation and formation of an order block and rejection block, and enter with your stop above or below the old high or low, right? Created after turtle soup. If you want to trade the rejection block, right, once price forms the rejection block, it should reach and react almost immediately. If not, or excuse me, if there's no reaction immediately or no close through EQ, well, if there is a close through EQ, obviously we're gonna aim for the through the wick. But if there is no close through EQ, right, then the wick will most likely be the move, right, with an SMT above the body close. Right, having that SMT and the closure and wick back within the range is good confirmation on that. But right, if we do close or have a really long wick, right, it could be a fake rejection block and we fill that wick all the way to and through, right? It's also understanding order flow, right, and also, you know, a power of 3, right? If we're accumulating, manipulating, if we're going to distribute, right, we're not just going to equal, you know, barely wick above it and close back within a range. We're going to really distribute. Right, the highest open or low points act as a low time frame accumulation, right inside of our higher time frame market maker model. We always like to see that, right? You have your smart money reversal and then accumulation, right, and then a manipulation above the accumulation, if not an SMT or delivering from order block to order block. Right, we always have our low time frame power of 3 inside the high time frame power of 3. When price retraces into the order block and rejection block, it should react accordingly. And right, when that happens, it indicates our buildup of orders and where price should continue to drive to or distribute to. Right, followed after our manipulation, distribution. After retracing into the rejection block, price should distribute towards opposing liquidity. Right, and that's after our lower time frame, right, inside the higher time frame, accumulation, manipulation above the high. Right, then quick distribution. When you find yourself inside the low time frame manipulation, inside the high time frame good lord, manipulation, right, that's when, right, you know you're doing something right and you can spot it. Some of this is just pretty obvious, right? You wait for your break or your break of your previous swing high and then wait for efficient price delivery and more confirmation of the manipulation, right? We look for a previous swing high or low to be broken. Right, obviously with a breaker, right? Breakers confirm efficient price delivery. Having an SMT, right, if we're bullish and right, having a low time frame and high time frame SMT at the low, right, indicates and then confirms the manipulation. Right, obviously we kind of just went over that. It's really like practical thinking about it. But right, look for the soup, right, wait for an order block. If you are scared to enter in the order block, wait for the breaker. After the breaker, enter when we have a protected high or low. Right, by following these steps, you can systematically, right, try to trade turtle soup. Well, it's not always the system and you won't always find yourself in a trade, right, waiting for, you know, all the confirmation in the world and or right, not knowing where your key level is that needs to be hit and or if you can confirm the manipulation. There's a lot that goes on with it, but you can, right, try your best to understand when the turtle soup sequence happens, right, and how you can capitalize on it. Always refer to the other videos and just, right, your draw on liquidity and understanding when, where, and why. That's how you're going to find your best results and, right, how to simply just become profitable and almost feel like it's improfitable or it's impossible not to make profit. See you guys on the charts. Let's get into it. So for right now, we're not going to try and, right, look at our accumulation legs or anything like that. We're going to look at this piece of price right here, okay? And we're going to understand, right, why we reversed from here and how we could have caught a delivery, right, from this volume imbalance inside the order block, right, even touching into the wick and the rejection block from the SMT, right, and just understanding, right, when every major low printed becomes protected, how to just find yourself within it, right, this low, right, and these aren't super major lows, but right after creating the INWOG, right, every time we even tapped into it, we just kept delivering from it. Having the SMT, right, as well at 6 a.m. coming into 10 a.m. as well, right, having that manipulation into the distribution, right, we talked about that in plenty of episodes of also having, right, that 6 a.m. low of day, right, catching that manipulation and finding yourself within the 10 a.m. and, right, being able to hold for the rest of the day. If you caught yourself in that move, right, well, I guess we would have ran into Wednesday, but it's the 4-hour candles, but right, obviously coming into here, right, with our 2 a.m. and to 6 a.m. we did the same exact thing, right, with our 6 a.m. low of day, right, coming back into the breaker, but to understand, right, how we're obviously delivering up here, we have to understand why we reversed up here. So let's zoom out to the monthly and see that we were delivering from a higher time frame monthly fair value gap. We have 2 equal highs above, right? We are delivering from this monthly fair value gap, but we have displaced away, right, a lot more aggressively if you just kind of think about it, than we have displaced lower. So price has no alternative than to run higher, as well as having an SMT below here. If you don't understand what an SMT is, right, it's also, I mainly look at ES because YM has been a bit whack recently, right? It's understanding higher time frame into lower time frame, even into the weekly, understanding that ES broke this low, and it didn't break a major low like this one, but it delivered, right, in its own accord, an accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right, to and from the order block. So price delivered efficiently on both indices, but at the same time it broke this low, causing us not need to break this low and react from the breaker, right, created on the weekly. We see we failed to even close into the body, right? We wicked and price reacted very reactively, I guess, or very efficiently, whatever you want to call it. Let's zoom a little bit out. Sorry. So we see after this low was printed, right, NQ, right, stood with this low being the low, and ES broke it one more time. When this happened, right, we had our volume imbalance as well as a lower time frame order block, and we also saw on the daily candle, right, us running into the order block here and or breaker block, however you want to see it, right, because we broke a higher high over here, right, but you can also see our higher time frame accumulation right here into the manipulation below all of our equal lows. And I'm showing a little bit of an older one here today, just to also get you keeping in mind, right, with the charts we've been looking at with the very bullish price action recently, how we delivered from it and how we just kept breaking higher highs. I think there was, no, obviously, right, we have the weekly rejection block here, indicating, right, after this Friday, right, price no longer needed to sweep that low, right, with the SMT. Zooming in, we looked at the 4-hour coming into the hourly here, right, it starts to become a lot more clear, right, we print our low, SMT with this low, right, reacting to the printed low, or to the high probability protected low, right, so protected low, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, lower time frame into, right, our higher time frame accumulation, manipulation to then distribute higher. Also looking at price, we can see, right, we displaced away from our accumulation range here, right, to really, right, make it seem like we were going to attack these lows and displace away with ES, right, but having that SMT and coming into the next week with the tremendous INWOG, it indicated very bullish price action to come. right? Usually we sit out Mondays. It just depends like what the week's looking like. Don't know what the news was here, but very seek and destroy like. Coming in with a higher time frame SMT here, right? With that 9 a.m. manipulation to then deliver us lower, right? We have protected lows and the in-wall. So we delivered back to it, delivered us higher. You could call this your anticipated failure swing, right? But this, right, we're not anticipating a failure swing in bullish price action, right? This was our anticipated failure swing, right, along with the SMT confirming it, right, for this to be our new protected low. So we have protected low, protected low, protected low, right? Even here, right, when we deliver from this lower time frame accumulation, manipulation, distribution, all just building up our higher time frame accumulation, right, to then manipulate and have another SMT, right? All this manipulation was all we needed, right, for this whole week to just, right, print protected lows and then spool upwards, right? Wick, right? Long wicks in order flow get filled to and through, and right on the 4 hour we saw one that was a bit larger. Coming into Tuesday, right, we see our accumulation overnight into our right, London low time frame manipulation, right? It's kind of easy to see, right? We see our order block printed right after another SMT, right? Very weird price action, but at the same time, there's a little bit of a rhyme and a reason behind it. Because you, right, need to accumulate higher time frame for people to think, you know, oh, price isn't going to move, we're just going to chop, right, and accumulate, right, for then price to very aggressively spool, right? We've also trapped everybody out thinking they're going to go lower here, higher time frame, so, right, there's not much of a chance to really get in long, right, after getting stopped out short, right, in the mind of a retail trader, obviously not in our thinking. Coming from this, right, after we create the breaker here with a solid close above, even a wick above here, right, indicating we've mitigated this previous in dog that was very large, right? Price always is gonna either come back into these like a vacuum block, or vacuum blocks are bullshit. I don't really look at shit like that, but it's gonna, right, always want to react and come and redeliver our rebalance price within these. We see here, right, on a different time frame there wouldn't be a wick here, right? We touch it, and then after delivering from it we create our high probability low, right? So there's no right, same thing with like a breakaway gap here, right? We use this gap to then deliver to the a new higher high, even this higher high, right? And then after using it, right, we deliver right back to it and then deliver higher, right? Printed low, protected, even here I think we created equal lows, right, and then had an SMT that then, right, price just doesn't even give you an entry on the 1 hour. You just have to understand that we closed back in within the range, right, 9 to 10. But yeah, right, see, even after we create the breaker here, right, we come into another overnight accumulation, like we talked about here with the accumulation, manipulation, distribution, larger time frame, right? We've already accumulated, manipulated, and we're just in our distribution. So we're looking for our daily manipulation, right? Just leaving liquidity, right, for previous day, as well as, yeah, previous day lunch, as well as London liquidity for our 8 a.m. We got a 7 a.m. one there. But, right, our 4 hour candle purge into the breaker / order block, right, just delivering us higher. And we've seen, right, this same pattern bullishly a million times here recently, so I feel like it should be kind of easy, looking back at something in October, where we're delivering, right, higher time frame and lower time frame, right? And then you can even zoom in and see our market maker models, right, the accumulations, right, into the smart money reversal. Right, and even here on the 1 minute, or not the 1 minute, but the lower time frame, leaving liquidity below that previous candle like we talked about, then sweeping it, closing back within the range aggressively. We see here, same thing, right? Creating that order block here, delivering back to it, right? And then very ugly, it's just because it's Friday. right in the morning, and then coming into the end of the week after already delivering into a PDA. Yeah, price is just very ugly. It's also overnight into London, right? But it still goes ahead and takes out the new swing high, creates a higher high, right? Same thing here, right? We use the breaker to then deliver us higher, right? Even a in-dog, you know, a lower time frame in-dog, right? As we've seen, right? Reacts to the order block. Price, right, then creates a breakaway gap, right? Creates a breaker, uses the breakaway gap, and then delivers on higher, right? Same thing here, right? We sweep the low, deliver. We don't quite yet create the breaker, but right after the order block is created, right, we deliver very aggressively after SMTing and deliver higher and almost spool upwards. Right, there's not much to it. I feel like I don't know if it's easy for the new, like a newer person to see that back to back, right? How price just prints the lows and right, we keep delivering higher. And right, you know, we have to have these higher time frame accumulations, right, to be able to manipulate, right, sellers or buyers out of the market, right, for then price to spool up and deliver very efficiently. See here, right, with another accumulation, right, and just a build up, right, this isn't a turtle soup, it's a breaker, right, above the old high, right, with order flow. So we just accumulate, manipulate, come into a 6, and right, same thing, right, into an AM purge, then deliver higher. And this is for a lot of my London guys. We have been getting some pretty good Londons, but this is why I trade AM every single day, right? You can just see them back to back to back to back to back. Even if it's right after the 4 a.m. close into the 10 a.m. candle, just spot it and don't get caught in it. Not much to add there, right? I'm probably missing a couple things from the notes. Let's go ahead and pull them up here real quick and see if we missed anything. Right, yeah, we're looking higher time frame, waiting for a reaction, confirming the reaction with an SMT. Right, we looked at the higher time frame market maker models. Yeah, so that covers everything, right? So there's not much more to go over, right? Always have your narrative, when, where, and why, and you're gonna, right, find yourself confidently within a turtle soup and a winning trade. And even if it's not a turtle soup, like we said, waiting for confirmed price delivery, or excuse me, confirmed efficient price delivery, and finding yourself, right, if we're in long, like we saw, right in below, right what is becoming a protected low, and or getting yourself in right in a discount, right above a protected low, right in for a good RR, right, like we've all talked about, in, you know, coming back into OT of the range and stuff like that. Not much more to add, right? Like I said, hope y'all have a good one. You know, y'all have a great weekend. Keep trading good, and right, just do everything you can to, right, better yourself 1% a day. Have a great one.